Assalamualaikum, halo semuanya. Jumpa lagi sama aku Nabila Anindya, presenter Mugaru. Kalian tahu gak sih aku ada di mana? Yap, bener banget. Aku lagi ada di studionya Mugaru TV. Satu hal yang harus kalian tahu, SMP yang ada studio TV-nya itu hanya di Mugaru. Bukan hanya itu aja guys, presenternya juga hebat-hebat. Lengkap banget kan? Ada studionya, ada juga presenternya. Dan itu hanya di Mugaru. Trust me. Jadi buat kalian yang mau jadi presenter, mau jadi artis, wajib banget masuk ke Mugaru. Jangan salah pilih ya guys, karena kalau salah pilih akan mengubur cita-citamu. Sat-set, wat-wat, daftar ke Mugaru. Ingat, sekolah mahal itu banyak, tapi yang bisa mencetak artis itu hanya Mugaru.
Artis apa, Bel?
Artis yang menginspirasi, bukan yang memberikan contoh kemaksiatan.
Keren dong.
Ya jelas, Mugaru.
So, very quick info, when it comes to these national parks, it's also the way to protect the nature, right? So, for example, if the Polish government decides to call one area a national park, it means that no one is ever allowed to build anything there, that you are not allowed to chase animals, you are not allowed to hunt, you are not allowed to even touch flowers there, okay? So it's like a special status this place gets. So we are aware of the fact that this is the nature that we should protect. And also the endangered species are there. And it means that, for example, you cannot even enter to the area of the national park with your dog for a walk, because it could scare animals that live there, okay? So, yeah, very important concept. We know that nature is something we should all protect. Also now facing all the global changes and so on. So national parks have the golden status in Poland, and everyone should be very, very careful about these pieces of land. So we have 23 of those, okay?
Poland is the birthplace of many famous inventions. Some of Poland's most fascinating facts concern the country's contributions to science and technology. Many game-changing inventions, such as graphene, the bulletproof vest, walkie-talkie, paper clips, and even the toothbrush, originated in Poland. Not only that, the famous astronomer Nicolaus Copernicus was a Pole. He developed the concept of a heliocentric solar system, which proposed that, instead of the Earth, Sun is at the center of the universe. The Nobel Prize has been awarded to 18 Poles. You've probably heard of Maria Skłodowska-Curie, who discovered radium and polonium. She was born in Warsaw and then later migrated to France. Polish scientists.
Have you ever heard of Skłodowska-Curie? You probably know her surname as Curie. It was the surname she got after she married Piotr Curie, the Frenchman. And she was the only person in the history who actually got 2 Nobel Prizes. And we are super proud of her, but there is also a very sad part of the history, which is that she wanted to study in Krakow, in one of the oldest cities in Poland, with the oldest university, but she wasn't allowed to study there because she was a woman. That's why she went to study in France, okay? Just because of the fact that she was a woman. Back then, women were not allowed to study at the university, unfortunately. Yeah, and it wasn't that long ago. It was 19th century. And what is also interesting and super sad to me, being a woman, is that they didn't want to give the Nobel Prize to her, but they wanted her husband to come to get her prize because she was a woman. And then her husband said, no, it's my wife's achievement, not mine. So either you give the prize to her, or I'm not going to take it. And it was the first situation when the Nobel Prize was given to a woman. And it wasn't not that long ago. So we are very proud of her, but we also remember about this dark side of the history. Let's move on. What we've got next.
Later migrated to France. Polish scientists continue to innovate and discover at a variety of world-class research institutions throughout the country. Today, university education is free for Polish citizens, and Poles enjoy one of the world's best education systems. Number 4. The beautiful city of contrast. Poland has many fascinating cities with a variety of tourist attractions, but one of the most interesting is Gdansk, and it is located a huge number of tourists each year. This beautiful country is habitat to some truly amazing animal species. Because the country has a diverse range of habitats, it is home to many different kinds of identical animals. Vast primeval forest.
The giraffe was a big lie. We don't have giraffes there. I don't know who put the giraffe in this video. We have bisons, that's true, but we have no giraffe.
It's one of the best places to see a variety of animal species. Entering the forest is like passing through a time machine and traveling back thousands of years to when Europe was mostly covered with woods. All kinds of different species continue to flourish on the dense forest, including herds of European bison.
This is a bison. We have them, that's true.
600 kilograms on average. Poles are crazy about heavy metal. Poland is perhaps best known for its classical composers such as Fryderyk Chopin, an iconic composer and pianist of the Romantic period, who wrote mainly for solo piano pieces. However, the music scene has evolved over the time, and many young Poles are fans of heavy metal. When you walk in the streets and also when you use public transport, you can hear the screaming vocals and heavy guitar riffs coming out from their headphones. Not only that, the Poland Rock Festival, previously known as the Woodstock Festival, is Europe's biggest open-air festival and the largest global free open-air festival. The average attendees has been over 600,000. And that's all for today. To watch more videos, please subscribe. Fascinating Facts.
Okay. So, do you have any questions about this one? No, not yet. Okay, so let's talk about food. I told you that we are going to talk about food a little bit. For those of you who plan to travel to Bali one day, there is a very interesting restaurant there that serves pierogi. In the city Sanur, there is a restaurant that serves pierogi, which is this kind of Polish dumplings, but as I told you about my students who live in Poland, these are dumplings with Indonesian twist, so you can also try dumplings with mango and chocolate there. Very, very interesting things. Okay, so let's take a look a little bit on what Poles eat. So Polish cuisine is very diverse. I told you about our position on the map, right? We are exactly in the middle. What does it mean? Lots of invasions, lots of people trying to attack Poland, invaded back in the times, and also lots of different influences. Okay, so in Poland we had like a very, very big Jewish community before World War II. You know what happened later. We had lots of people of Russian origin, but not exactly belonging to the Russian state, but because of the Russian or white Russian ethnicity. Okay, we also had quite a lot of German people. We had a lot of people coming from the south, living in Poland. That means that all of them, they were bringing their own food tradition, and that means that our food is super diverse. Okay, so let's take a look at the famous one, pierogi. Pierogi is basically kind of dumplings like gyoza, and you can put different things inside. You know what is most famous one? Potato with cottage cheese and onion. These are the best ones. But you can also have meat inside, you can have cabbage inside, you can have spinach inside, different kinds. And you also have some modern restaurants that serve really, really weird fillings. Like, for example, salmon and cheese. Okay? Cheese is super common in Poland. Then we have very, very cool street food called zapiekanka. Zapiekanka, if you are a student in one of the bigger Polish cities, you will have a lot of zapiekanka because they are quick and cheap. So it's like French bread with different toppings and of course with cheese on the top, okay? We are crazy about cheese.
Cheese everywhere.
Cheese is everywhere, as well as bread. This is my favorite soup. It's called borscht, and you can also hear about borscht in Russian cuisine and in Ukrainian. They also have borscht. So it's a beetroot soup. You have to know.
Is it a sweet?
No, it's never sweet. It's savory. And you have to know one thing. In Poland, I'm going to show you another video. In Poland, we have serious winters. We have snow, okay? We have snow. That means that we don't have access to fresh vegetables all year round, like here in Indonesia. Now it's different, right? Because we can import lots of vegetables and fruit like from every country, right? But in the past, for example, for like 3 or 4 months, people had no access to fresh vegetables. That's why we have like a big culture of pickles, okay? So for example, my grandma, my mother, before winter, they would make a lot of pickles. They would put different vegetables in a jar, close it, store it, and then we were able to have this kind of food also in winter, okay? And beetroot is this kind of vegetable that you can put in your basement and it will survive 3 or 4 months, okay? Like potatoes, that you can store it easily and they wouldn't get rotten. That's why we have lots of food that has beetroot as a base. So in order to make this soup, barst, you need to ferment beetroot. Like you also have fermented food in Indonesia, like tempe is a kind of, right, fermentation. So you basically put beetroots, you ferment them, and then on the base of that you make this soup. Yeah?
How does it taste?
It tastes, do you like beetroot? Beets? Not really. So it tastes like beetroot, but it's also a little bit acidic. You can like acid a little bit, like lemon, something like that.
It's sour.
It's sour, yeah. It's definitely sour.
What inside this?
Good question. So we have dumplings inside, pierogi inside. Yeah, it's also very common. It's like a top Christmas dish for Polish people. We have barst with pierogi inside, okay? And actually you can make it here as well. If you have access to good beetroots, you could make it here.
Miss, do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, ask a question, don't be afraid. Don't hide. Hey, what's your name?
You can call him Ali.
Ali. Ali, do you want to ask a question or maybe later? Okay, if you don't want to, we can talk later, no worries. Okay, take a look at another soup that also has a beetroot as a base. This is a soup for the summer because it's cold, okay? So you have lots of different grated vegetables inside, like cucumbers, like beetroots, and you also add yogurt to it, and you store it in the fridge. Yogurt. I know it sounds weird. It tastes amazing. It's very cold, refreshing, and it's cold because it's like a summer soup. Yeah. And this dish actually came from, can you see the country numbered 6? No, numbered 6? Yes, very good. This dish came from Lithuania because back in the days, Poland and Lithuania, we were one country. We had a union, okay? And there is a lot of influences of Lithuanian cuisine over Polish cuisine and the other way around. What's the capital of Lithuania, by the way? Vilnius. Vilnius. Tak. What's the question? Don't be scared.
Is the sauce made from?
Try again.
Is the sauce made from dragon fruit?
Dragon fruit. No, we don't have dragon fruit in Poland. No, believe me, my family was visiting Indonesia 2 weeks ago, and they were so overwhelmed by the amount of exotic fruit, and dragon fruit was very exotic for us. So it was the first time when, for example, my mother tried dragon fruit when she came to Indonesia. We don't have dragon fruit. The color is because of the beetroots, because of the beets. You know what fruit we have in Poland? The fruit that likes cold weather, apple. Poland has like a huge production of apples. We have apples, strawberries, bananas are only imported there is not a good weather for pears. We have a lot of local pears. And yeah, these are like the biggest three. Yeah. Sorry?
What color is pink?
It's pink because of the beetroot. But it's not very pink, it's not very red because it's mixed with yogurt. Okay? So beetroot and yogurt makes this beautiful color. Yeah. You know, we call it croquete. Shh, please. And it's like a pancake with mushrooms and onion inside. And then we roll it and we fry it on a pan. So it's not deep fried, but yeah. Yes, I tried it. Yes. And this is the thing that is super easy, but it tastes like summer for us. Because cucumbers, we have them only in the summer. That means summer in Poland is June, July, August. Okay, so this is the moment when cucumbers grow in our gardens. And we make the easiest salad possible. We just mix cucumbers with sour cream. And we add salt, pepper, and sugar. That's all. Super easy, but very good. Yeah, it's just very good. Sałatka jarzynowa. It's just vegetables that are cut and yeah, you just put mayonnaise to it and it's easy. Okay, I'm going to show you the video of Polish winter in a second, but before that, one more information about the fish we have, because I told you we have access to the Baltic Sea, right? You could see it on the map, but it's a very cold sea. If I go there even in the summer, I'm able to stay in water 15 minutes maximum, because the temperature of water is around 18 in the summer. So you being Indonesians, you would do and you would run away. It's very cold sea. That means that we have special species of fish that live there. Namely, we have herring there. Herring doesn't like very hot waters. That's why we can see herring there. And we usually store it in barrels. And then we like to make different cold dishes out of herring. Herring is also very common in Germany. It's also a bit acidic, a bit like lemon or acid. I like it, but not everyone likes it. Okay. This is a very interesting dish. I told you about winters in Poland, right? That they are long. And that people in the past, they couldn't go to a supermarket to buy tomatoes. There were no tomatoes in winter. That's why cabbage was super important, and it's a super important base of our food. Because what can you do with cabbage? You can also make it fermented and store cabbage in the jars. Okay, so for example, my husband, he is from the region of Poland where the food production was quite a big thing. And his grandparents, they had lots of cabbages on their field, okay? So when he was a kid, what they would do, because, you know, kids are still considered to be, you know, their body is considered to be fresh and not very disgusting and so on. So the family would like grate cabbage, put it in the barrels, and then they would wash the feet of my husband and put him in a barrel so that he can jump on it. Okay, it was a very common thing in the countryside. So that the cabbage, all the juice from the cabbage would like go up, right? And this way, the cabbage was covered with this natural juice. They were adding also salt to it, and the fermentation process would start. Okay. and people would eat cabbage all the winter. It's a big source of vitamin C. Okay, so it has even more vitamin C than lemon and orange. Okay, so it was the base of our cuisine for many, many years. And this dish is made of fermented cabbage that was boiled, and also meat was added later on. And in order to make good bigos, you need to cook it for around 5 hours. Almost like rendang, right? Okay. And also, I told you cabbage, super important. We also have cabbage rolls. This is one of my favorite dishes. So you take the leaf of a cabbage that is boiled, and you make the filling with meat and rice. And then you roll it, and then you boil it and put the tomato sauce on the top. This is one of my favorite. Yeah, this is like, and this is thing that is sweet. Finally something sweet. Pampuche. Yeah. So it's sweet. It's like a dumpling, but it's sweet. Because I told you about the different fillings of dumplings, right? I told you about meat being inside. I told you about spinach and so on. We, in the summer, we also make pierogi that has strawberries or different kind of berries inside. Yeah, it's a dessert. And potatoes. Also, we love beetroots, potatoes, and cabbage. This is something you would like because it's fried, okay? So it's like a grated potato that is later fried. Okay, and I wanted to show you the last thing. Have you ever heard of Fat Thursday? Poland is mostly, thank you. Poland is mostly a Catholic country, okay? That means that we run like the Christian calendar of all the holidays and so on. That means that we also have a fast, not as strong as Ramadan, but we have a fast before Easter holidays, okay? And the last day before the fast starts, we have the Fat Thursday. It's the day when we are allowed to eat as many sweet things as we wish, okay? And this is the main hero of the Fat Thursday, Pączek. What happens? If you see bakeries in Poland on Fat Thursday, you'll see lines, like never-ending lines of people buying this. And then we have like a competition, who is able to eat more pączki, okay? So you eat some in the office, you eat some at home, usually you end up like that, the Fat Thursday. And you are then ready for fasting. Okay, let me show you one more thing. So, I already told you something about, yes, sure.
Traditional game or traditional dance?
Traditional what? Games? Ah, like sport games. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, of course, football is popular everywhere, but our team is never good at football. Who likes football? Have you ever heard of Lewandowski? Yeah. He is our Lewandowski is our best football player. We all love him. But Poland team is never good in football. Never good. We have, though, very good volleyball players. Polish people are quite tall, so volleyball is quite a big thing. Basketball, not that much, but volleyball is very good. Ah, children plays. What are the children plays? How do you call the thing that is like skipping? Skipping is very common. Also hide and seek is very common. And we ride bikes as crazy. And in the summer, kids go swimming anywhere, in the lakes, in the rivers. Yeah, good question, thank you. Okay, so I told you about winter in Poland, right? There is one activity that kids love so much, which is called kulik. Do you know where it is?
What is it?
I told you that we have snow in Poland in winter, right? So in the past, there was like a horse carriage with sledges. You know what is a sledge, right? The sled that was attached to it. And then the horse would run and you were on the sled and you were going, "Whoa!" Now we do it with cars, okay? You have to be super careful because it can be dangerous. But when I was a child, it was very common that one parent would take his or her car, would attach all the sledge to it, and then we would go through the forest like that, okay? It's a common thing. In the past it was with the horses, now it's with cars. I'm going to show you the last thing, which is the video showing some Christmas tradition in Poland, and you are going to see it like in the way we celebrate it in the countryside, okay? So you are going to see some traditional games and costumes and everything, okay? So you'll tell me how you like it later on. Oops. I think the sound is not working.
My friends told me that you look like Taylor Swift.
Thank you, but I think Taylor Swift is much prettier, but thank you. Is this a break?
Yeah. Yes.
You can continue.
Do you have to go?
No, I think. What do you think, guys? They want you to continue the class.
You sure? Okay. So it's the last thing, okay? Take a look. So you see that the man went to the forest to find a Christmas tree, right? Christmas tree is super typical. It actually, you probably know it from American movies, but it's actually a tradition that I believe comes from Latvia, so the country number 5. Here we have Latvia. So some people believe that the tradition of Christmas tree comes from this country or from some Germanic tribes, so somewhere around number 19. And we used to have it for many years, that Christmas tree. So the man came to get Christmas tree, the most beautiful, from the forest, while women are making Christmas cakes. It's also very old tradition, okay? Let's see what's next. Okay, can you see the decorations of the Christmas tree? Yeah. In the past it was mostly cakes, apples, nuts, okay? So anything that you could eat later on. That's why all the kids love the tradition of Christmas tree, and they would wake up at night to eat, yeah, and then parents would notice like, oh, our Christmas tree is missing some decorations, what happened? And the kids would go. And you can also see the traditional food that is being prepared here. Did you also notice the traditional costumes, traditional clothes women wear? So braided hair is super common, and also all the like red bows and stuff like that. And these clothes are also common. They were worn mostly in the countryside. Nowadays it's usually people dancing traditional dances that would wear it. On the streets you won't see people wearing that. is another tradition. We believe that in Christmas at midnight, animals can speak with human voice. Yeah. So what we do is people come to listen to animals, to listen to their wishes they have for the next year. And also we bring, guys, the last thing, we also bring straw and we put it below the tablecloth because we believe that it brings good luck for the next year. Okay? Yeah, I think it's time, right? You should finish, right? It's 10 past? Yeah. Yes. Sure, we can take a photo. I would like to thank you very, very much for today. I hope you learned something new about a country that is super exotic for you, right? Living, like being very, very far away. Thank you for everything. If you have any questions to me about food, about culture, feel free to come and ask, okay? Thank you very, very much. Dziękuję. And let's take a photo if you want, yeah.